Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the official ARK Podcast number 211. My name is Mistletoad, and I'm here live with the core team. Your host for tonight, as always, the one and only Mr. Atlas. Please take it away, sir.
Thank you for the introduction, Mistletoad. Folks, welcome back to another edition of the ARK Daily Podcast. This is Tuesday, May 30th. An important day. We have some updates for you folks. We have already given yesterday some ideas as to, our focus, our intentions, really taking the most brilliant minds that we have on the ARK. We've been working all the end of last week, over the weekend, understanding that we need to plug in any holes, anything that would cause, again, a lack of confidence or a panic or fear that's, obviously set into the investment community. So we're getting ahead of it. We're addressing it. We believe that it is important that through the work and through the decisions that we make as a team, as a community of investors, as we're all aboard the ARK, we all have the same intentions. A fantastic, long-term, sustainable project that is going to make a difference in all of our lives. We have family, we have friends involved. We're going through a tough storm. We're going through a tough time. It is a part of life. You will face obstacles. What makes or breaks you is how you're able to learn from it, how you're able to adjust, pivot, make the right decisions, and move forward better and stronger than before. We've had a fantastic run. We've gone around the globe several times. Folks smiling ear to ear. Amazing growth. And I know those days are not over. They're ahead of us. But there will be adjustments that we will address, and there will be improvements, optimization, more opportunity. Checking in here, let's take a quick look at how the round is going. Round 4. Last time I checked, we were at 54%. Folks, we are 57.15% on our 4th round. Sheesh. 130,000 tokens virtually burned back into the ARK vault. That's taking so much pressure, folks, off of the sell volume as we gear up, as we bring our utilities, as we bring the Zoom presentations on board. We go and we do our AMAs and we start talking to a new audience, an audience that we've always understood is going to be able to use this fantastic mobile application. Big meetings happening today with the development of the on-ramp. That's a key component. Everything's key, but this is the bottleneck, folks, that we're facing. Understanding that it takes our coaches 2 to 3 hours to bring a newbie investor into this protocol. We're talking here 3 clicks, less than 45 seconds. You take your credit card and you're in. You've got your crypto. Ideally, we'd like to initially be able to just go straight to buy ArkFi. There is a component that makes it a bit difficult for our first V1 of the on-ramp, as we are not a token that you can purchase on DEXs. You can't go to PancakeSwap and just purchase ArkFi. So we're looking at actually having the investors purchase BNB first, because we just give them BUSD, then they don't have the gas to make the transaction to purchase ArkFi. So that's something that we were working on today, an update. We haven't told you a lot of information about that, but that is key, as we've made some decisions today to enable these investors to come in quickly, take advantage of having that amazing sales funnel of the Zoom presentations, having a lot of these big team leaders come in and we're already talking to a community of over 12,000 folks that are new in the space of crypto that we have to educate. We're going to need more Coach Brads, more Coach Mistletoads, And thank you for everyone that's sent a resume, has stepped up, put their hand up. Hey, Atlas, I'm very interested. I want to be a part of this. So let's come and also take a quick look what's happening here on the stats for today. I know that price is down, folks. Let's go here to the main studio, bring up the stats, and there it is. We have 5,378 ARK Vault accounts. Liquidity is at 285,072 BUSD on PancakeSwap. IOC reserves dipping past and below the 400,000 level, currently at 396,479 BUSD. We understand that both liquidity and IOC reserves are doing the buying right now. We don't have any buy pressure, and we understand why, as we're getting everything orchestrated and organized here. Price sitting at $1.76. We thank everyone for their patience. I know this is tough, but it has to be done correctly. We cannot go and launch things out of desperation, make mistakes, put a clown nose on. We have to do everything right. There are no shortcuts, folks. With that, I think we're creating the right incentives, taking the pressure off through the ArkNet. We have something also in store that's going to take more pressure off. And with that, we're going to go ahead and turn it over in a minute to Brett Nordine. We just want to say the Spark price pool is at 663.29 ARK. Today, we're going to find our 190th Spark prize winner, and 10% of that is going to go to the MVP, which we already know who they are. We want to give them a shout out here at the beginning of the podcast. Their wallet ends in 6628. Thank you for sticking up. Who is that?
G.I. Joe.
Oh, let's go, brother. Let's go. That's right. And hey, there's not a lot of competition, G.I. Joe, but believe me, it's coming. And we're going to see a rally here happen very, very soon. We're seeing, 11 referrals coming in today. Sheesh. Damn, somebody's working hard here.
I convinced my directs. I said, you got to buy some ARK. You got to. It's time.
Wow. Well, brother, that's impressive. 11 referrals. I mean, we're going to also, we're not going to do that today. We've got other things to look at, but we said it before. We want to see how we can improve the Spark reward. It is our number one marketing tool. And we want to incentivize these folks even further. I mean, 11 referrals. I mean, guys, let's look at the mirror. Who else brought 11 referrals? We saw people with one referral. Here's one with two referrals, another one with two, one with four. Hey, shout out to the one that has four. That's wallet ending in 47F18. 4 referrals. That's freaking amazing. So we want to make this competitive because this is what it's going to come down to, folks. We're going to have to fight tooth and nail, folks, to get this back where we want it, to find our floor and to rally. There's a lot of folks that did extremely well who ROI'd and then some, but there's folks that came in the past couple of weeks that are underwater, and we need to secure them. We need to secure the new investors, the other friends and families that want to use that mobile application that are coming through that funnel over on Zoom. So we need to be responsible. We need to be in integrity. We don't want victims. We want winners here, folks. This is very, very important. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Brett Nordine. Please take a pen and paper out. Take some notes. This is very important alpha that's going to be coming to all of us, and we're going to have a lot of questions. We don't have all of the exact details. You're going to have to stay, close for getting more of the information as we're looking on how to fine tune. But I think the overall macro view is going to be very clear, very exciting, with plenty of opportunity. As I think we're making decisions as we're doing things that folks have not seen in this space before. A lot of the solutions we've seen when projects are having a hard time, they go and do some lotteries or other types of things that are a good push for a week or two or maybe a month. But we need solutions that are long term. We don't want to kick the can, guys, down the road, and then we're going to have another issue happen again. I think that's irresponsible. That's not going to happen here. We need to be better, and we need to address it. We need to find the right solutions. We have brilliant minds, amazing investors, and I know we can do so much together. There we go, Mr. Brett Nordine. My rant is over. It is all yours. The folks have their pen and papers out, and they're all ears. Let's go.
Oh, geez. I better watch what I say. No, I think in what you said, there we're really sticking to our overarching plan, which has always been about utilities. It's always been about bringing these real world businesses and utilities that people use every day, even crypto investors and other people that are entering the space. We talked about the on-ramp, the off-ramps. We know the DVPN is also in that plan as well, ARKG, and we want to execute that in the biggest possible way. And we know that the Legacy NFT Fund is what's going to give us that juice, that marketing push, because the majority of those Legacy NFT funds are going to go into our marketing budget and to drive those businesses, which then end up sending revenue back to the ILC, to the Treasury, to the NFT holders. We want that fund to be as big as possible. So we're getting really close, and we thought, a couple of weeks ago we would have these on and off ramp solutions in place, but just with the price action and distractions, and then also the pre-seed round coming in, those have taken a little bit away. But I know Alex is working tirelessly to catch up and get ahead and finish those up. You mentioned the on ramp meetings today, and I know we're real close. We have we're just waiting on our issuer for the virtual card to have the air card ready to go. And that's just been taking a little bit longer than we expected. But as soon as those are in place, that's when Atlas and I are going to go on this AMA tour we've been talking about, getting the legacy NFTs out in the forefront, which will drive interest and also give those funds that we mentioned for marketing to push those utilities even further out in the marketplace. We understand that there's other people doing on-ramps, there's other people doing off-ramps, but it's really a blue ocean. And quite honestly, before we started investigating the solutions for, who are the issuers, who are the people that can help us on the back end, I didn't know who these other companies were. There's a huge awareness issue in the crypto space for these solutions. I think quite a few people know about MoonPay simply because they're purchasing through Trust Wallet or something like that. But we know what the pitfalls are for those. And so I think awareness and building the brand, delivering a high quality and very attractive solution, one that looks trustworthy. I know when I go to some of these others and I look at their UI and, they're asking for your credit card information and other things. I don't care how many, 5-star reviews they have. It just looks really sketch. And some of them look thrown together. You don't know really where they're coming from, the teams behind them, the people behind them. So when we're talking about bringing mass market people into ArkFi through these network marketing funnels and presentations that we're doing, we have to have our best foot forward and look like a real world business, look like a bank. And that's exactly what we've done. I think we've designed and we've achieved that. I know we can't reveal that yet, but the work that Alex is doing is just amazing on the back end and integrating all this in the safest possible way. And we're actually showing a little bit to our issuers about how to do things the right way on the front end. And so there's been some of that exchange back and forth. It's just taken a little extra time in terms of security. But we know we have to do those steps first. So to get back to, I guess, the legacy NFT story, we've always had the idea of opening and creating an opportunity for ArkFi investors. I guess it's very similar to the pre-seed round that we did for ArkNet, in that we're allowing people that hold ArkFi tokens and also BUSD to enter into the legacy NFT funnel in an advantaged position. I'll just say that. We don't have all the details ironed out yet, but basically what we're going to do is open a legacy NFT savings account to allow people to come in to the legacy NFT instead of, when we're out there talking to the mass market and the public about the legacy NFT, they're just going to come in with their BUSD and they might invest in legacy NFT, but they may not know about the other aspects of the vault and the foundation and things. So what we're doing is we've had this idea for quite a while of creating a way to give people an opportunity to use their ArkFi tokens as well as BUSD to enter into the legacy NFT in a smaller way and then stack their way into a silver NFT. And then the same way to upgrade to a gold. So we're just ironing out the details. We have to figure out what's possible and how to bring those tokens in a way that's not going to affect the price. So very similar way to the pre-seed round, we're looking at taking a pool of funds and making those available, at least in the beginning, so that we don't further affect the price of the ArkFi token, but still allow people to enter this contract in a way that benefits them without selling their ArkFi into BUSD and then putting it into this legacy savings account. We're going to call it that for now, just because I don't have a better name for it, but I think it describes it pretty well. So we're going to set aside some funds. We don't have the exact number yet, but we're going to allow people to bring their ArkFi tokens in, similar way to the pre-seed contract, to get into this legacy savings account, and then build your way into a silver NFT. We do know that there's a limited amount of those. That's why we're making this available to our investors first, and then people that come in from the outside that don't have ArkFi won't be able to use their ArkFi tokens. They'll have to purchase the legacy NFTs with BUSD only. So we think this is a fair way to get further adoption from the user community that we have now, but then also give somebody that may not have as large a position or have access to BUSD funds a way to use their ArkFi tokens to be able to invest and stack in their way into a legacy NFT. So that's the basic concept. We'll have some more details around that, but there will be some tax savings in doing that, in that we're talking about eliminating the sales tax to be able to incentivize people to bring their ArkFi tokens into this legacy savings account. So that's kind of the overview of it. I don't know if you want to add any more details, but I'll also say that we just need to figure out what's possible to do technically with the foundation contract, but we are going to make some enhancements there to tighten things up. We know that we saw when the panic came, we saw people pulling their bond and essentially selling ARK, which further dumped the price. So we're going to make this a much more, I would say, attractive investment, the foundation, a much more attractive investment by putting some incentives in there, and then also taking the pressure off the chart when people want to take their bond out of the foundation contract. So we're working on that, and we're going to do some limited offers and things like that to help bolster the foundation. But first, we want to be able to introduce this legacy savings account and get that finished up before we do release a bunch of details on the foundation contract. But we'll do those in concert, so you'll know what the foundation enhancements will look like prior to the legacy savings account information also coming out. So we'll kind of run those in parallel, and there'll be some interaction between the two of them, I'm sure. And yeah,
hey,
yeah, go ahead, Nito.
Pardon me. Did I interrupt? I didn't mean to.
No, go ahead.
This is pertinent to what you're just talking about. I think others can benefit too. With this legacy savings account, that's a great idea to get people into the legacy arena. And I was wondering though, is that the ArkFi that they pledge, will that also earn yield before they earn a silver or other NFT? Or will it just accrue until it activates that?
Yeah, there won't be any yield in that contract. So it'll just work as a placeholder basically, but there will be the tax incentive, so they'll be able to avoid the 13% sales tax by putting their ArkFi in that contract.
Okay,
and I'd like to add to that. I'd like to add to that too. Give me a second, Nato. We want to also reward the folks in bond that didn't panic sell, that are holding their positions, who have added more to qualify and be eligible every day for bond. So very important. I want to bring attention to that. Thank you, everyone that's kept the faith and held price. I mean, we know it's going down, but by them supporting bond, that's made a huge difference. So for those great folks, they're going to have some major incentive and opportunities to be able to make a decision if they do want to come into the other side of the legacy savings account, we're going to have promotions for them as well. So sit tight and definitely hold on to that bond. That is, prime directive, as we want folks to be able to make their best decisions. And with decisions, we want to incentivize, and I think it's going to be a no-brainer, as Coach Brad likes to say, when you analyze and say, hey, wait, I'm getting this here, but wait, if I come over to the other side, which is the broader, so fantastic, world of legacy NFTs, they're going to have an amazing opportunity. So I don't want folks to misunderstand or misrepresent what we're saying here. Definitely, take advantage of having that bond position, because it is so very important. We do not want folks to misread and then not understand the great benefit that's happening and then miss out on the opportunity. And also that can cause some pressure onto the chart and the price. Very important. I'll turn it back to you, Brett.
Yeah, thank you for clarifying that. Yeah, at this point, everybody should just hold tight, because the way that the two are going to interact together, we understand the legacy savings account is going to help with people that are, looking to spend their ArkFi in a different way rather than just cashing it out for BUSD, and they'll be able to stack it in the savings account. And there'll be some benefits to doing that. But also on the other side, there might be some people that want to sell their bond and move it over to legacy NFT. But until we have those contracts in place, those benefits that you mentioned won't be available yet. So we're going to make some kind of no-brainer offers for people that do want to move from the foundation, for example, over to the legacy NFT, because we know some people are stacking that way. Some people are putting it in the foundation and building it up to the point where then they can purchase that silver. So we're just giving them an additional way to do that. The foundation will still be extremely viable. The foundation will be, I would say, on the short term, actually a really, really great investment. I think that the way things are going to play out. So it'll just be a decision that I think most people have kind of made up in their minds. If they see the legacy NFT as the DeFi utility, they've been hanging around for a while and seeing what we're doing with the utility side of things and how those revenues are going to drive into that legacy NFT rewards pool, then that may be the direction they want to go. If they're playing the little shorter term game, they want the liquidity that the foundation offers, then it's possible they'll want to stay there and not make the bigger investment to legacy NFT. So we're going to keep the same dynamics. Those aren't changing in terms of like the use case for the foundation or the use case of the legacy NFT. We're just going to make the foundation a lot tighter in terms of people using it as a way to sort of dump on the price chart if we do have any fluctuations in price. But those I think will benefit the people that really want to play that game in a much bigger way. But then the people that don't and want to move over the legacy NFT, we're to give them a way to transition into that that will be beneficial and allow them to save in a way that I think they would normally not be able to. So it will give them an advantage to be able to use their ArkFi tokens as a secondary use case for stacking in that savings account.
Okay, Brett, will we get? That's great that the 13% will be saved, and that's a good discount for the savings account, legacy savings account. It's a great idea. But I'm wondering, will there also be mentioned similar parallel to like the pre-seed contract idea? Is that suggesting that there will be a credit over the market value of the ARK itself towards that account as well?
No, we're not. We haven't done that. We might add some incentives in terms of just bonuses or limited time offers or things like that. But we don't feel like there's going to be any more incentive needed once we kind of reveal how it's all going to work to get people to put their ArkFi in there. I think it'll be kind of sort of the no-brainer. We have a couple mechanics, I think, that will make that an easy decision for the right people. But no, we won't set like a higher price or anything like that. But we will set aside some funds when we open that contract to make sure that we don't put additional price pressure, on the ArkFi token. I think that's probably the most important thing, similar to what we did with the pre-seed, because I think that really has helped. If everybody just sort of dumped their ArkFi and then bought up this new token or went into this new legacy savings account, just selling their ArkFi outright to jump into this thing, then we would see a worse problem happening. So we want to turn that around and actually make it a positive thing, so that it takes pressure off of the selling and gives people a place to use their ArkFi rather than just selling it outright.
Exactly.
Okay,
exactly.
so you're
and we want solutions. As you can see, we're not panicking. We're not running around desperate, making things that just aren't good for the system. On the contrary, we're analyzing the situation. We're finding the best solutions for stability, for long term. And it's not about taking things away or tying people's hands. We believe, and I think you've seen that through our actions, through our decisions, through our offers, that we want the investor to make their decision, not be forced into something. And that's very important. I hope that the folks here are able to realize that. We're not looking for Band-Aids. We're looking for solutions that are going to impact immensely, instantly, immediately the current situation. But they're the options and the choices that the investor can make their best educated decision with the information, with the options on the table. And another great point here is that, the folks that are coming to the podcast, that are participating, that are in the chat, that are asking the questions, they're, I think, going to be rewarded very handsomely through all this process that we've been doing here. As we understand, we have over 5,300 vault accounts, and over 1,600 folks have already come into the ArkNet contract. And shout out to them. That's, I think, a fantastic turnout. But, these, again, will be limited time windows, opportunities. So those that are here, that are involved with the team, involved with the community, obviously you're getting the alpha, you're getting the information first before anybody, and you're going to have, your first come, first serve situation. So we want to, commend you and pat yourself on the back, because you're at the right place. I think you're managing your investment in a very responsible manner. And for those folks that are just, out there doing whatever it is they're doing, buying their Pepe and getting wrecked, or having success in other parts of DeFi or out there in the world, but are not paying attention to what's happening here, what's developing on a every day, every minute basis, they're unfortunately going to be left behind a little bit. But we're going to do our best to communicate, to put these opportunities out there. But again, it's not going to be available for everyone. In the spirit of the pre-seed, there's going to be limits, there's going to be opportunity, but it's there for the taking. The early bird catches the worm. So very important that we all understand that. And thank you for being here through all this process.
But it's going to be optional, though, right, for us to go into this account, correct?
Oh, absolutely. Yep. That's how we roll. That's the beauty of it.
And then there's going to be a way to convert bond into NFT, and then there's going to be a limited time benefit to push more of your ARK, your ARK into this account, savings account, besides the 13% bonus. There's going to be additional kind of incentives, right?
Yeah, we're working that out. We're seeing what's possible with Mr. Green on the contract side. But I don't think we'll need any more incentive than just the sales, the removal of the sales tax. It's really, it's for the right person that understands where we're heading and how that legacy NFT could end up, being that long-term, no caps, just a BUSD machine right now, so it's really for the person that has taken the time to understand what the legacy NFT is all about, where the roadmap's heading, and giving them a chance to get in on a fair playing field and with an advantage if they've already been an ArkFi investor. Something back to the pre-seed contract we did for ArkNet was, hey, let's try to reward those people that have been in the contract, that have held, that haven't dumped their ARK, that are looking for a different way to not only help support the project, but then also benefit in another way using their ArkFi token. So that's what's really important, I think, with this. It's not as much about, just, giving away legacy NFTs or, making such a huge discount or anything like that. It's more of just, hey, here's this opportunity. We're making it super simple, super easy. We're giving you a tax incentive to do it. If it's the right fit for you, then I think you'll make that decision yourself on how to play that, whether it's the bond or the, using some BUSD, using some ArkFi tokens. That's probably just going to depend on what portfolio you already have, and then what your appetite is to jump into the legacy NFT.
I think this is really great. Thanks, Brent, because I've got some wallets where I have a silver NFT that I would like to upgrade to a gold, and some other wallets where I'd like to buy a silver. And then I've got some wallets where I'm not thinking about legacy NFTs. But you probably don't know the details yet, but those ArkFis, the ArkFi token that builds up in wallets that I'm not interested in ever getting an legacy NFT connected to, those I probably can't really move those ArkFi into the wallets where I am interested in taking advantage of this new offer. I guess it's wallet specific. Would that be true?
Well, you could transfer them from one wallet to the other. There is a 10% transfer tax, but that would be the only tax. So then you could deposit them directly into the legacy savings account and avoid like a sales tax, for example. So that would not be an issue.
Okay, no, that's an idea. As you say, 10%. If the benefits, as you say, the incentives sound like they're going to be good. So that would be an idea for me to build up ArkFi across all wallets. Thinking about you rolling out this, are you going to have more details this week, or is this going to be something for next week?
Yeah, we really missed hammering out some details with Mr. Green this morning. So we're hoping to catch him in the morning tomorrow, just to be totally transparent. And then walking through how all the mechanics are really going to work, because we don't want to, promise something that we can't do technically, or wouldn't be the best way to do that from a contract perspective, or something for the investor that wouldn't work out. So I have pretty much all of the details laid out in a format that he can review and then put to code and put to contract. Then obviously we need to build the UI on the front end. These are probably going to be, my guess is structurally they'll be contracts that sit by themselves, kind of like the pre-seed contracts. So like the legacy NFT savings account will sit on its own. And just sort of the basic mechanics would be you're making deposits and you're building up your legacy NFT savings account balance. And then once you reach that $1,000 level, then you're automatically receiving that legacy NFT in that wallet. And then you can go ahead and then unlock it in your legacy NFT account on the UI. And then you're automatically starting to earn. So it'll just be an automated process. If you already have a silver, you could use it to upgrade to a gold. So you could use it to stack in the savings account, tax-free, for example, and then be able to upgrade to the gold. As soon as you hit that $4,000 level, you're going to receive the gold automatically. So that's basically how it'll work.
No, I really love that. And I love your ideas about thinking about how can you kind of reduce sell pressure from those people who are already in the contract. And, this is, as you say, a quick thing that you can roll out there that doesn't involve you getting new investors, which I know is your main aim, is to get new investors. But in the meantime, I think these ideas are wonderful, and it doesn't feel like, as Atlas was saying, like trying to put a Band-Aid over something, but it's making the project better at this moment. I think that's great. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate the feedback.
Excuse me, Brett. This is after you claim, right? After you claim, then you can pledge to it, right?
Correct.
Because you have to have the ARK in. Okay.
Yep. Yeah. Very similar to how the pre-seed contract worked. Just, as an example, that's kind of how we're approaching this one as well.
Excuse me. Will we have an option of adding fresh capital into this saving account as well? Let's say that we saved up to halfway with the ArkFi token, but you just want to put some fresh capital into to make up the balance.
Yes, absolutely. Yep.
Thank you.
And I think, if people are working towards that, that $1,000 mark for the silver, I think that's going to become important, because they might get to, $900 and be like, boom, I've got $100. I'm just going to, finish up this process and get that silver.
That's great. Thank you.
Hi, Brett. Just to kind of clarify, I meant I wasn't part of the seed round, but I was part of the like the what just happened the other day.
The pre-seed
The
contract,
pre-seed for the
ArkNet.
DVPN.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I'm understanding is it's going to be a one-time deposit relevant to what the current price of ARK is on that particular day, or will it be a contract where we can kind of withdraw every so often and kind of deposit as we kind of feel, or is it, or will there
Yep.
be a window?
It's going to be an ongoing. The window that we're going to support with the additional funds that we talked about, to help with the price alleviation, because we know that when we open these things, we get a lot of interest out of the gates. And so we're going to try to alleviate any price pressure that we might get. And so that window of that, those funds being available to offset those additional pushes that we get into this contract will be limited. So we may do it for 3 to 5 days, for example, where we have an additional incentive, plus we have that liquidity there to support that ArkFi being pushed into that legacy savings account contract.
And the price of the ARK would be honored based on whatever the current price is of that day.
Yes, exactly. It will be market
Okay.
value, and then we're gonna keep this open. So we think this will be a way to on ramp, people from the ARK vault into the legacy NFT, and sort of a way to cross promote the two. In that, if we're out pushing the legacy NFTs to other communities and things, they're going to come in and say, "Oh, great! I have a way to earn ArkFi using the daily ROI DApp or the ARK vault, and then I can use that because I don't have enough BUSD, for example, to do both. I can't do the legacy NFT." And then I can't get a huge position in the vault. But if I can earn out of the vault at 2% a day, then I can put that into this legacy NFT savings account, get additional benefits, and then eventually work my way up to the silver NFT.
Got it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right. Anyone else? Great questions, by the way, folks. See Mr. Brandon in the room. He's like, "Hey, what's going on? There's alpha happening here." But I don't know if he's able to say hello.
Hey,
He's always multitasking.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes, you sound like you're under the hood of the car, but we hear you.
Well, I'm at a resort on vacation, but
Ooh.
yeah, I just tuned in, and it was right in the middle of your explanation of the new contract. So to summarize, it's going to be a way to save up ArkFi tokens and then spend those on getting into the legacy NFT. Is that right?
Yeah, that's basically it. And we're provide a tax incentive, and then we're going to have some other incentives too to promote, the adoption of this. We'll just say that. So this will be an ongoing contract. So there's nothing to do, like you don't have to stack and dump in a crazy amount or anything like that. But we're giving a way for people to transition their ArkFi tokens into this contract and then stack and save towards the legacy NFT. As we're going to be going out and promoting these, we don't know how long they're going to last. We're obviously capped at 3,000 silvers. Those are going to be easily the first ones to go. And so we want to give our investors a way to be able to work into a silver if that's the path they want to choose, in an easier way, and also at a discounted way, in that they avoid sales tax by using their ArkFi to deposit into the legacy savings account.
Okay, and then can you also deposit BUSD into the legacy
Yes.
savings account?
Yes, BUSD or ArkFi.
Gotcha. Awesome. Thank you. Sounds amazing.
You're welcome. Have a great vacation, buddy.
Thank you. Halfway through it. It's a great idea. I like that. I'll talk about that when I get back on the stream.
All right. So let's go ahead and move on. I think we've had plenty of questions. Let's give it another 30 seconds and see if there's anyone else before we go ahead, as we have the Clover here live for the All Aboard. Chris, go right ahead, sir.
Hey, I just had a quick question there concerning those NFTs and getting into them. Are you also going to have, instead of going just like directly straight to the silver, the ability to go directly to like a gold or something?
You'll the way that the system works now, and I don't want to speak for Mr. Green, but I think the way we'll have to do that is still the same way we do an upgrade today with the legacy NFT. So today, if you hold or buy a silver, if you were working your way up, so let's say you didn't have the $4,000 immediately for the gold, you would buy the silver first, and then you would work your way up. And once you had $3,000 additional dollars or BUSD, then you would upgrade your silver to the gold. But if you do have the 4,000, you would just go ahead and buy the gold. So I guess there was not really anything to stop you, but you would have to stop at silver and then upgrade from silver to gold.
Okay. Yeah, that answers your question. Thanks.
No problem. Thank you.
Great question. Thank you so much. All right, let's turn it over to Coach Brad for the All Aboard. Hope you're doing well, Mr. Brad.
Thank you very much, Atlas. Yep, very well, thank you. Some great alpha there from the team. Excuse me. Always great to be on the podcast to get the alpha straight from the horse's mouth. Moving on to the All Aboard session for today, we have Clover with his newest video. He is actually our special guest for this evening, or this afternoon, or this morning, wherever you are in the world. So he will be presenting his video. It's on zero knowledge proofs, and he uses the Where's Waldo analogy and displays it very well. It's very, very well thought through and very well presented video. So Clover, if you're ready, sir, if you want to step into the light and take the mic, introduce your video, and when you're ready, I'll play it for you.
Yeah, sure. Thank you. I was doing a lot of research on zero knowledge proof, and I saw a lot of different examples that were being used. And I think the one that's the most effective is the Where's Waldo example, because it's important to understand what zero knowledge proof is, so that you can understand kind of like how a privacy network infrastructure is being built, and some of these different elements on how that will work. Because I think for a lot of people, when they get into, understanding things like Monero, Dash, like some of the previous privacy coins and networks, it's kind of like, you're sending your coins, but there's like not a kind of a history of transactions in the same way, because it's not a public blockchain. And so some of those privacy elements might be a little bit confusing or new for people. And what ARK is attempting to do with their privacy network is to implement a lot of those privacy features. And the cutting edge technology, the one that's out there that's getting a lot of the namesake, is this zero knowledge proof. But then trying to explain it to people, I was looking for a lot of examples on how to do that. And there are some interesting examples, but some of the examples that I saw, they might have made sense to me, but I'm not sure if they would have made sense for the average person. And so I think that is, this Where's Waldo example is probably one of the best ones out there. And I think that's why it's widely used. I think I saw like 3 videos that were using that same example. And so, yeah, that's kind of the foundation of kind of how I was presenting that information. And I was also, commenting a lot on, the rest of the ARK ecosystem as well.
Yeah, great. Excuse me. Sorry. Excuse me. Great point, Clover. For someone that's perhaps already in DeFi or crypto or the financial world in general, then, they might understand it. But for the average person, which is obviously the target market for ARK, the Where's Waldo is a fantastic example. And I think that you the way you display it in the video is impeccable. Someone that has no idea what ZK is will come away with a very good understanding. So very well thought through, very well presented video, great visuals, and I think most people at some point have come across or heard of Where's Waldo. So it resonates with everyone. But great introduction. Great to have you with us this evening. And without further ado, I will play the video. If you want me to pause it and discuss any of the points throughout the video, just let me know, and I'll pause the video for you.
What's going on, guys? I wanted to give my insights with ArkFi. It's, the price has been something that has been concerning for a lot of investors, but the things that have been working on and coming out with, I think, are really interesting, and I think are worth mentioning. So they just came out today with their ArkNet launch, which is their privacy layer protocol that they're going to be building a lot of things on top of. They're building a VPN, they're building a lot of different things that are going to be in this decentralized privacy infrastructure that they're going to be rolling out here. And so you can see a little bit of what they are working on, and it's also utilizing this new technology. One of the buzzwords that I've seen that have been thrown around recently by some of the more technical YouTubers that I've been following is this idea of zero knowledge proofs. They call it ZK rollups, ZK coins, and so it's kind of this buzzword that has been used for different crypto projects and things that have a lot of upside potential. And so what is that zero proof? That is something that can be a little bit difficult sometimes for people to give a really good answer to. And so I've been doing a little more research on that recently, and I think the best example that people give is this Where's Waldo. So if the idea of zero knowledge proof is that you can give some information to someone without actually giving them, say, like the passwords or the actual information that is contained or that you are in possession of, but you need to be able to verify it. And that's important for a privacy network if you're going to be establishing trust and you're going to be able to do transactions on top of that. And so this zero knowledge is essential to be able to provide that access. And so this Where's Waldo as an example. So say I know where Waldo is and I want to prove to you that I know where Waldo is, but I don't want to give away all of the information. And so what I might do is on a map, I might actually have a large black cardboard cutout with just a little space for Waldo, and then I could put it on there and then show you where Waldo is without revealing his information. And so that's one of the best examples. There's a lot of other examples that have been given. It's just a way to prove that you are in possession of something without actually giving away that information. And so that is part of the aspects that are needed in an effective privacy network. And so for this ArkNet, they are going to be utilizing this cutting edge technology, zero proofs, in what they're doing, and they have a lot of things that are going to be planned on top of that. So they're looking at a decentralized virtual private network, cloud storage, password management solutions, just to name a few. It's going to be something that's going to be the foundation of some of the fiat on-ramps and rollouts and things that people are going to be getting into in the future, where privacy is going to be very important. And so there's been a lot of privacy protocols that have been out there that have attempted to do a lot of different things, but I haven't really seen a whole lot of them, catch on. There's been a couple of privacy networks that have attempted to be that premier privacy layer, with examples out there like Monero, Dash, Zcash, Pirate Chain. There's a need for having and establishing a privacy network that you can build dApps and things on top of. And so this is going to be a foundational thing that provides a lot of value to the ArkFi ecosystem. And as this is rolled out and as it gains more adoption, this could really help to establish the ArkFi ecosystem. They've just rolled that out today. They had their pre-seed round which was a way for people that had, ArkFi tokens that were a little bit undervalued to get a higher valuation in this new ArkNet token that's going to be coming out in the very near future. With the ArkFi token, over the past week or so, maybe, I guess it really kind of became unpegged on the 14th. So it's been about 8 days. There was a resurgence here where you had a lot of buy pressure, and so that brought the price up. But it's been in a little bit of a steady, slow, downturn. I've been looking at this more as a long-term investment, and I think that when you start looking at a lot of the analytics that are provided on Dune, I'll leave this in the description below, there's a lot of really promising things to be excited about. If you look at the ILC reserve, this is a big source of concern for people, and this has some proprietary aspects to it. And I think one of the things you're seeing when you look at the ILC reserves, when this price started coming down, you had seen the ILC reserves, they were steadily coming down, but it wasn't until about 350 or so is when it became unpegged and the ILC kicked in and allowed the market price to drop a little bit, and that was kind of reflected here. So if we take a look, this was on May 14th, and if we look here, May 14th. So yeah, I mean it had almost bottomed out, with those ILC reserves, less than 300,000, and then it had slowly started to build back those reserves. So even though the price is down, those reserves are being built back up, and it offers a lot of sentiment for people that are investing in this ecosystem that it's not as unhealthy as it may appear from the outside. I think one of the things that contributed to the price decline was a lot of people began unstaking. It looks like right, the 12th and the 13th, right before you're looking at, the overall ecosystem with the wallets. This is kind of a breakdown of the wallets. There's the majority of the wallets are kind of in this 100 to 200, 200 to 300 range. There's not a whole lot that are, kind of near max payout. So the benefits of getting in is, this premium price. So people that have been, storing and collecting ArkFi tokens because they don't want to sell them for some of the prices that they're at on the market right now, then you have the ability to get a higher valuation in this new protocol, and potentially have an ability to 5x if you got in that first round. I wasn't able to partake in that because I've been just compounding my account. I haven't been withdrawing a whole lot of ArkFi, tokens, and so, but I'm interested to see, how this rolls out and how it performs, because, they're working on a lot of different things here, and there could be a lot of upside potential to these aspects, over time. They're looking to migrate this to the Polygon ZK EVM, because Polygon has been a very up-and-coming blockchain that has a lot of things that going for it at the moment, and there's been a lot of volume on there, and that potentially could be, where we see a lot of the privacy token projects moving to, if that is where the innovation is. I'm going to leave the link to the ArkNet things here. There's a lot of really cool aspects that could be very bullish for this network. But the thing that I like about ARK and what they're doing is the principles that they have, and the things that they're rolling out, and the things that they're working on are the things that are needed in the future in the crypto space. And I don't know if we really have a whole lot of viable solutions for these privacy networks as a whole. And if this is one that could take off and provide a lot of user adoption for people to get into crypto, to protect their privacy, to be able to get into passive income projects where they have the ability to earn money in BUSD. There's a lot of things that are going to be planned here in this roadmap, and this is just the beginning. Again, this is going to be more of your high risk plays. If you're looking at getting into safer plays, this is going to be one that could be volatile at times. It's been very volatile over the past 8 or 9 days. But I do like what they're working on, and I think they offer a lot of solutions. The community that they're building with their daily podcast, they just started uploading things to their YouTube. They just started doing this. So they're moving a lot of things in the right direction. And so I'm very excited to see how things work rolling out here in the near future. So, but yeah, those are some of my insights. I'm curious to hear if any of you guys, got involved with this or have any experience with it. So be sure to leave those comments in the comment section below. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.
Fantastic video there, Clover, and I really like his approach. It's really, I think, in line with the integrity, the transparency of ARK, all the investors, the team. This isn't hype. This isn't blind hopium. This is understanding that liquidity is so important. Price, we're having fluctuations, but he's seeing the broader picture. We all know the glass is half empty, but it's also half full, and there's so much going on. The general, I think, reaction of teams when things happen, it's just, resorting to Band-Aids and hopes and dreams and just bullshitting, not building, not continuing with the vision, understanding what is at stake, and understanding that the only way you crawl out is through the hard work, making the right decisions. And Clover, we love your perspective, very transparent. That's what this is about. These aren't paid shillers. This is our community, and it is an honor for us. He's been in the ROI DAP game. He was part of creating the first one. The ideas of the referral system, that was Black Sheep and Clover. For those of you that don't know that's a brainchild of him and Black Sheep. Fantastic folks. So great to have you on board. It's been a breath of fresh air to have you come and join us, and the experience of being an investor, not for a couple of weeks or just a couple of years, but very, very long term. And you've seen things come and go, and you've seen teams that just promise, don't deliver, are not in integrity, and don't really have a leg to stand on. So thank you, Mr. Clover. You can drop the mic on that one. Seeing the opportunity, understanding the solutions and how they fit in. Got me all pumped up. Anyone else? Question, comment? Is the Clover here still? Or did he disconnect already? I don't see him. Do you see him, Mistletoe?
I'm just in the car now.
He is
okay.
Okay. Connection.
Man, it was a loud place. I don't know if that was a restaurant, but I don't know if you saw. I think there was mirrors behind him. You could see like this upstairs. Like, man, that place looked really, really cool. I wonder what that place is all about. Looks interesting. Place I'd like to be.
That was a restaurant in Iquitos. I think I've been.
Wow, beautiful. The woodwork. It seemed like a nice place. Even the padding on the back of the I don't know if it's like a stool type of setting, but it looked really comfortable, plush, soft. Nice place to be, and great atmosphere happening over there, and great content. So another banger, another winner here. Great to see the content coming from him. And if there's no other questions, let's give it another 10, 20 seconds, or maybe if somebody wants to add to that. If not, we're going to go ahead and unleash the beast of the Spark. All right, folks, let's go ahead and make the Spark happen. This is the time. Call out the Sparky. Call it by name. Let it know that you're here. And this is your opportunity. The odds are really fantastic. We actually have to look those up, and maybe we have Catalyst do another article about the fantastic opportunity that's happening at Spark. There's always a positive to everything, right? Can you see the screen, Coach Brad?
Certainly can, sir.
All right. Let's go ahead and make it happen. Let's sit back, calm, cool, and collected as we unleash the beast. Wish you the best luck, everybody.
Let's get this crypto.
Let's get this crypto.
Let's get this crypto.
Let's get this crypto.
All right, folks, we have the Spark Prize winners for today. The first Spark Prize winner, their wallet ends in B249. They've won 639.27 ARK, street value of $1,122.08. They are a first-time winner. That's right. Welcome to Nitro Mode, folks. They've immediately gone through NDV 2% through the roof, earning so much more ARK every single second of every day here. Daily MVP, while ending in 6628, they won 71.03 ARK. That's $124.68 worth of ARK into their vault, bringing them that Nitro boost as well. Congratulations. Sheesh. MVPs, putting the work in. Shout out. With that, we're going to turn it over to our very, very own DeFi crypto expert, bringing us the alpha, what's happening on Wall Street, the crypto streets, the dark alleys of sometimes the heinous debacles that happen here, the hacks, the Chinese government seizing crypto from developers. I mean, some of the stuff that happens here is insane, folks. But we need to be informed. We need to understand what's happening out there. Mr. Z, hope you're doing well, calm, cool, and collected as usual.
Atlas, do we want to do the Wheel of the Toad, or do we wait till after the DeFi sessions?
Let's. Sorry, we're getting ahead of ourselves. Let's do the Wheel of the Toad real quick, and then we'll bring Mr. Z on board. Sorry about that, Mr. Z. We front ran the Wheel of the Toad today. Thank you, Coach Brad.
No problem, sir.
You're handling it today?
Yeah, Mistletoe, do you want me to explain the wheel, or do you want to go ahead and give your beautiful explanation?
If you could, I'm just driving right now.
No problem at all, sir. Okay, so this is the Wheel of the Toad. We call it that because Coach Mistletoe takes care of it, but this is the all aboard wheel for anybody who participates daily to help pump the algorithm for all the fantastic content creators here at ARK, like Clover, for example, with his video today. So to get involved with this, it's really quick and really simple. All you have to do is click on the Sweep widget link, which is posted after the podcast. It's in the main chat, in the pinned messages, in the contest and giveaway channel, and also in the announcement channel. It's posted throughout the day by the bot, so it's really available and very quick and easy to find. All you do is click on the link and it takes you to a list of tasks. Those tasks might be, for example, to like or subscribe to a certain YouTube channel or a piece of content. The task will take you directly there. You drop the like, come back, move on to the next task. The whole thing just takes a few minutes and you get entered on a daily basis onto this beautiful wheel to be in for the chance to win between 50 to 100 BUSD. It's great for yourself because you have that opportunity to win. It's great for the content creator because it helps to pump their channel. And it's great for every single person on board the ARK because we are a community-driven project and we need more people to know and understand what the ARK is and what we are trying to achieve. So please and thank you. And without further ado, Atlas, ready to spin whenever you are.
All right. We're doing a 50, right?
Today is 50 BUSD because we have less than 50 participants in the podcast.
Thank you for clarifying that, sir. Want to be always very transparent and clear for us. 50
Yes,
people
sir.
here, it's 100. So it sticks. It helps to stick around and participate, folks. This is for our community. This is a great way to get back. And we know a lot of folks are enjoying being a part of the All Aboard. It works. It's important. So on the count of 3, Coach Brad, 2, 1, let's spin it. Let's go. Let it run.
Good luck, everyone. Congratulations, I_Villa Flores. You have won 50 BUSD. Congratulations, and thank you very much for participating. If you didn't win today, you have a chance to win tomorrow. So don't feel disheartened and complete the task today, and you could be tomorrow's winner. There could be more than 50 people in the podcast. It could be 100 BUSD. The possibilities never end. So thanks everybody for being involved, and we'll see you again for the wheel tomorrow.
Thank you, Coach Brad. So let's turn it over to Mr. Z.
Am I still sharing my screen? I think I took it off.
You took it off, sir.
Fantastic. Thank you.
All right. Mr. Z, are you there, sir?
Yeah, can you guys hear me just fine?
Yes, sir. Welcome aboard.
Awesome. Yeah, it's never a dull day in finance, and especially in crypto. So there's a bunch to touch on today. Just give me a second as I share my screen. Yeah, I think my screen's sharing now. So yeah, before I get into the news, I think this is the new range for Bitcoin. I think 27,806 to 26,400 is turning out to be the sort of, you can say, consolidation that we're kind of seeing on Bitcoin. So this is a 4 hours chart. I still have my thoughts around these sorts of areas being tapped into because of the amount of gaps that we see down here. But I think for now we stay sideways for 27K to 26K, and then we sort of drop down and take a lower low. I don't see this thing going up a little bit because there's a bunch of things happening in the world right now. So there's a few different things I want to touch on when it comes to global news. The first thing is what's happening in China right now. So this is a article from the Financial Times. It's about young graduates struggling to get a job offer in China right now, because only 3 to 4 years ago, China was employing, I think, 10,000 plus people per week, and now we've gone down to like 100 jobs per week in the last year or so. And yeah, it's down to a few different factors, but I just want to kind of read this through a little bit. So this article reads: confidence is a big problem, and China's economic recovery loses steam. So weak property sales, industrial output, consumption, confidence is rapid bounce back from COVID. So everyone's still struggling, especially after the 2 years of COVID. So this was a little testimony by a newly graduate in China. So she had this to say. Annalie, her name is. So she had this to say about the job market. She goes, "I've been applying for jobs for half a year. I'm really exhausted, but I've not received an offer yet." So yeah, the 25-year graduate in the country's wealthy eastern Shandong province said, adding that even if she did land a position, salaries for jobs were often unlivable. Yeah, so basically the cost of living is going quite up, but the wages are depreciating. This is something we're seeing for the first time in China. It's been sort of it's a thing that's been happening in China since the ghost town feature. So like if you guys go to YouTube and search the word China ghost cities, it's something like very interesting to see. But you have so this is what's happened. You've had all these sorts of buildings that have been built over the past decade to basically bring in a bunch of tourists and sorts of new migrants into the Chinese areas. But like 7 years on, now we're seeing these all these new apartments, flats, buildings, and stuff really be blown down now. I mean, they're all sort of deconstructing, and it's really oblivious to see. So this is something that's been happening in China, like you can say a year and a half ago, just a year into COVID, and now it's starting to hit the economy quite a bit. So,
well, if I could add to that, it's a decade that they've been building this, and most of it, Z, because I spent a lot of time on this, is just pure real estate speculation. You know, we saw it happen in Miami. We've seen it happen in Dubai. I remember that bubble where they just couldn't build fast enough because the prices were just going through the roof every single month, every single day. We saw that happen also in the United States with the free money loans. Even if you didn't have an income, but you had a pulse, you could get 3, 4, 5 mortgages for properties. So this was a big part of feeding the demand, and one of the culture, not one, but one of the major parts of the Chinese culture is they believe in hard assets. They're not big fiat holder type of folks. They want brick and mortar, they want gold, they want assets. So they've really played this game to such a level that it became obscene to see this type of building of these dead cities that no one would ever, really live in. But understanding that through the growth of the country and, in a foreseeable future, there would be the demand and some of that where you're seeing immigrants. But as we're understanding, a lot of the folks left the villages, the farms to come to the big cities and be able to, join the rest of the economy and getting jobs and just going away from the whole farming sector to better their lives. But it is sad. I've seen a lot of videos too of the demolitions that they're doing this because it's insane. And the way they do this, they don't even really build out like we're used to in most places where they'll create a kitchen. They will put toilets and mirrors in the bathroom and tile. The way the Chinese sort of investment of this real estate is, they leave it as a shell, just, the exposed brick, because each investor or that's selling to an actual quote unquote buyer that's going to live there, they have their own flair, their own style. So they come in and they buy the tile and they put, the resets, lighting and paint and, vanity, tub, everything the way they want. So most of these are just empty shells in the inside with the plumbing, of course, and fire, extinguisher, systems for the water, but very bare bones. It's really, really crazy. And we've seen what's happened with a lot of these, not only, the ones that were built, which is a win in a sense for the investors, because they did see their funds going into actual development and results. But they're, in the past couple of years, we've seen those development companies that were not delivering. And there was a couple of them that the CEOs and the C-level executive of those companies ran away with billions and billions of dollars. And of course, where they went? Over to America to live the good high life, living in $350 million apartments overlooking Central Park West. It's crazy what they've done, and that they're actually, able to go to America. They're criminals. They've betrayed their investors. They betrayed their fellow citizens, and the U.S. just houses them, which is, I think, another dark side to this whole story. That if they cross over, they're protected through their criminal activities, which I think is just very wrong. But anyway, going a little bit off topic there. Thank you, Mr. Z.
So whilst you were speaking, I was playing a video of of some of the city attractions that were implemented in China. Some of them were honestly replicating London. I couldn't if any of you saw that. There was parts of London that sort of are imprinted in my sort of consciousness, and to see the Chinese really fork it, right, and copy the whole thing, and to see like a fish and chips shop and a small sort of high street and these sort of ways, and for them to see that now to be a ghost town, right? That was a place where they wanted folks from Hong Kong and Singapore and from the European islands to come through. They sort of implemented a London type of town hall, and then they also implemented a Parisian type of a French colony. And to see it all just go and become a ghost town, and just seeing all these buildings get demolished. I think this was a year ago we were watching these videos, and I sort of mentioned it over and over again that slowly this is going to start to creep into our economy. And that's what's happening now, especially in China right now. Unemployment is starting to increase. Not as big as we seen in the US right now or Europe, but we're starting to see unemployment clampering, especially when new graduates can't get a job. That's the starting point. So yeah, confidence is a problem. And so this is one side of the story. So we're seeing this happen in China. The reset of COVID is not taking its full control yet. So we'll see how that impacts the Chinese economy. In the US, we've had a similar thing with consumer confidence. So today we had consumer confidence that came out, and it showed it's been a really rough week. I mean, if we sort of think about it in a way of business, where USA was about a week away from going into default. Honestly, I think it was 6.5 days away from going into default, because there was no more cash in the treasury. So they had to do a last minute deal to print 33 trillion. 33 or 35 trillion. I'm being inaccurate here, but yeah, I would say about 33 trillion was agreed on a phone call, on a 90-minute phone call between Biden and McCarthy of the Fed Reserve. So U.S. consumer confidence, Bloomberg won't allow me to show you the whole article, but U.S. consumer confidence fell to a 6-month low as views about the current state of labor market and outlook for business conditions slipped ahead of a deal to raise the debt ceiling. So yeah, everything is taken. If you look at it from a macro point of view, we can look at things like the dollar index, and everything is taking a dip, right? Things are taking a dip. And usually what happens is when we see the dollar index take a dip, we see gold and other things like Bitcoin go long, right? But it's the opposite here, where Bitcoin is also taking a dip. And you're seeing confluence in the market right now. So that's the overall arching opinion right now. Everyone is in uncertainty right now when it comes to economies, when it comes to crypto. And if we look into the fear and greed index, let's see if it's still in neutral, because that's an important sentiment. So currently, like we were sort of greedy and sort of confident for a little bit, but even here, like we're starting to move into neutral, and slowly but surely, the first dip you see at like 26K, we're gonna see this thing go into fear. And this is all down to the debt ceiling, the way things are happening in America and China, because these are the biggest economies. And yeah, so that's the sort of macro news of what's happening with the world economies. There's a couple of things that are happening in the crypto sphere as well. So today we find out about Sam Bankman-Fried a little bit. And SBF has been going through it for the past year or so. He's been under house arrest for the FTX debacle for the past year or so, for the past 6 months, sorry. And the latest update we're getting is because he has a Bahamas residency, there might be some appeals to his charges being dropped to honor his extradition. So the article kind of reads that Sam Bankman-Fried could have some charges dropped to honor extradition. The Bahamas could stifle additional charges brought against SBF following his extradition. Prosecutors in SBF criminal trial could cast cold water on the FTX attempts to have several charges dismissed, but they acknowledged in court documents filed Monday that some could be dropped if the Bahamas object. So it seems the way it's going to go is he's going to be charged, and then it's basically the Bahamas government that take the next proceedings from there. So the government will proceed on new charges in the S5 indictment if the Bahamas consent to trial on these charges, and will not proceed on those counts if the Bahamas denies the government request. So this is the reason why he got dual citizenship a few years back. The mere filing of a superseding indictment does not run afoul of the treaty, prosecutors wrote in the court filing. The only question is whether government can now proceed to trial against the defendant who is present in this country as a result of his extradition from the Bahamas. So that's the latest on the SBF story. Now some really cool news came out from Japan today as well. And this was pretty interesting. So the article read, Japan's largest airline launches NFT marketplace. The platform is part of the All Nippon Airways ongoing expansion into the intersection of airlines and Web3. So on May the 30th, All Nippon Airways, the largest airline in Japan, launched an aeronautical themed NFT marketplace with its subsidiaries. Dubbed the Anna Granwell NFT Marketplace, the platform will feature an inaugural collection created by aerial photographers like Luke Ozawa. Aerial photographers like Luke Ozawa's first digital photos were converted to NFTs. One of them will be sold with a positive film, which is a source of photo development. The price is 100,000 yen, and the NFTs will, with positive film, will be sold at auction. So yeah, we're starting to see artists have their art converted into NFTs and have them available on this new marketplace called Anna Granwell. So we're starting to see like Japan is always, like, you can say that they think of 3 to 4 years ahead in its time frame when it comes to technology, to see like the largest airline take the risk of trying out an NFT marketplace is pretty positive for crypto. So Anna is Japan's largest airline with revenue of 12.2 billion in its last fiscal year. The firm said its plans to increase the NFT product line in the future and aims to improve the value of the customer's experience through NFTs commercialization. The arrow and the symbol logo represents the virtual and the real, respectively, and the fusion of the two symbolize the Anna Granwell flight straight into the future with stability and growth, where Web 3.0 and metaverse travel will become more common place. So that's like some bullish news on adoption there. I think that sort of covers the DeFi session for today. Thank you, guys. Oh, just one more thing. If you guys go to airdrop section, I'm going to be making a new section. I'll be doing some Solidity and some JavaScript learning with the help of AI. So I'll be using Bard and ChatGPT. So I've got 5 people up till now. I think Realtor, Putter, Redrico, Sadiq, and I think 3 more have participated so far. If you guys are interested, just throw up your like or reply to one of these sorts of text here, and we'll be doing Solidity together very soon. Thank you, guys.
All right, thank you. Fantastic DeFi sessions there. Thank you for your time and always bringing us to Alpha. You're so well prepared, my friend. It is always a pleasure to be here and look at all of this important information of what's happening out there on the streets, brother. So with that, let's go ahead and bring the podcast to a close. We're going to stick around, do some Q&A after that, as we always like to do. We don't leave until every question is answered. Folks, thank you so much for being here today. A lot of important alpha information, showing you the macro view of the improvements, optimization, opportunity, bonuses that are going to be happening here as we really take into consideration understanding that we do not want Band-Aids. We do not want to be running around like chickens with our heads cut off, folks. We want to make mature decisions that are going to benefit the project in the very long term, but not doing it in drastic ways, not tying folks' hands, not making unfair decisions, and not giving folks the opportunity to make their financial decisions. So we're, I think, very proud of the decisions, the direction we're going in, and giving everyone their opportunity. I think that's the right way to go. And we need to really, bootstrap, be bulletproof going forward. That is the key. That is what's important, as we all have family, friends, people we care about involved in this project. And we have to move in the right direction. We have to build, we have to deliver, we have to bring a new wave of investors here to the ARK. There's a lot of folks waiting on the sidelines, seeing the decisions we're making, how we balance out the system, make it stronger, optimized, and we move forward. We raise our sails. We rally. We fight for price. We fight for our future. We're not here to drag our feet. We're not here to be dormant. We're not here to be pessimistic. We're here to see the light, to see the great abundance of opportunity before us, and stick to the roadmap, improve what we have, and make it better every single day. For the folks that are listening, we also want to thank you for your participation through listening to the recording. We hope you found it educational as well as entertaining. We hope you got the alpha. Congratulations to our new Spark Prize winner. It is their first time. And also to the MVP of the day, 11 referrals, folks. I mean, that's putting in the work. That's sending out a message. That's leadership. That's rallying. And we're going to see so much more of that. Can't wait. Can't wait till we see here the troops really rally. We just have to tighten everything up, get everybody clear, get everybody into a position of pure confidence, understanding that the work has been done, that the Band-Aids aren't the solution, that the tricks, the gimmicks, the hopium hype is not going to cut it. This is a community of smart money investors, and we're making the right decisions. Folks, please take care of yourselves. Be good to each other, and we'll see you tomorrow.